Welcome to r/EntitledParents, where this strange man demands to buy $250 Apple AirPods for just $50. As you'll see, this man is even weirder than he sounds. The way he goes about it is just very, very strange. $250 AirPods versus $50 dupes. A customer comes in to buy some Bluetooth earpods. I show him what we have in stock. Apple AirPods for $249 or a cheaper brand that is $49. The conversation goes as follows, a little summed up. What is the difference between these two? Well, the Apple AirPods are a higher quality. They've got a microphone and they would pair well with your iPhone. This brand is a more affordable option, but they have lesser quality sound and no microphone. They also sit in your ear a different way. Well, which is better? They're both wonderful for their price range, but of course the AirPods would have better performance. Do you own one of them? How do you like it? Yeah, I own AirPods, and they're really amazing. I've had them for a little under a year, and they are great. But I've set this other brand up for customers before, and they've all been very happy with them. How about this? I'll buy the $49 ones, and I'll give them to you as a gift. What? And then you will give me your AirPods as a gift back. No thank you. Do it. I'll have your AirPods, and you can have this other brand, and I'll leave a happy customer. Yeah, no. Don't you want me to be happy with the service here? This will make me happy. So happy. Now at this point, I start feeling pretty uncomfortable. Well, I'm sure buying either one of these will make you happy. They're both really great products. Well, I want to do it this way. This goes on for a while. He asks more questions about them, offers the exchange again, over and over, before he decides to buy the AirPods anyway, pulling out a wad of cash. He double checks with me right before paying as well. Yeah, I don't really know what more to say about this story other than what a weird man. That's it. Genuinely, what else am I? Just move on. And now moving on to our second entitled parent story of today's episode. An entitled parent accuses a taxi driver of being the reason why his precious adult child passed out drunk and missed her curfew. This is a situation my father had in 2013. He was a taxi driver for years, and after this happened, he immediately quit and became a truck driver. Okay, so we know we're in for some sort of story here. It was Saturday night. It was well past midnight, so already Sunday, around 3 a.m. My dad had just driven one person home when the dispatcher called him. So, 3:03 a.m. My dad receives the destination and the fare. Disco club, 2 women, one of them called Anna. 3:08 a.m. My dad's at the entrance to the club. At 3:12 a.m, 2 girls enter my dad's car, one of them Anna. Around 25 years old, both of them, and also both drunk as heck. Anna gives 2 addresses to my dad. First her apartment building, then her friend's house. 3:20 a.m, the car gets to the first address. The other girl says that she has money to pay the full fare, so Anna leaves the car. She's very drunk and insecure on her feet. There's no light at the entrance to Anna's apartment building. So my dad uses the headlamps of his car to shed light at the entrance of Anna's building so that she can find her keys, open the door, and so on. Now this is a common practice among taxi drivers. Always make sure that a woman arrives at the destination safe and sound. 3:25 a.m. The car leaves the first address and heads for the second. 3:32 a.m. The car arrives at the second address. In the meantime, the second girl passed out. If it wasn't for this first stop, the total time to drive from the disco club to the second address would have been less than 10 minutes, by the way. And this is relevant for the later events. At 3:33 a.m, my dad leaves his car, locks all the doors, and enters the courtyard. This is also a standard procedure. If your fare is unconscious, and even more so if the fare is a woman, do not touch her. If you are at her destination, call someone from there to pick her up and pay for the fare. If there's no one at the destination to help you with her, call the ambulance or police. So, my dad knew that it was Saturday night, that they were at a disco and had a lot of drinks, and he had no reason to call the emergency. At least not before he tries to get help from a family member. At 3:34 a.m, he rings at the doors of the house. At 3:36 a.m, the girl's father opens the door. "Who are you, and what the heck are you doing here at this hour?" the dad says. "I'm sorry to wake you up, sir, but I'm a taxi driver, and I've just driven your daughter home." "My daughter? Where is she?" She's in the car, passed out. Please bring her in and put her to sleep. She'll be sober in a few hours. But she's more than 1 hour late. She should have been here around 2. Sir, I received the call from the disco club at around 3 a.m. Dropped her friend off along the way, and I'm here now with your daughter passed out in my car. Please, come to the car to take her in and to her beds. What did you do to her? He said, still standing at the doorstep and accusing. Nothing. I drove her here, home, to you. I'm a taxi driver, that's what I do. But my daughter doesn't drink much. She'd never allow herself to be so drunk as to pass out in a stranger's car. Sir, she and her friend were already drunk when they entered my car at the club. And I'm not a stranger, I'm a taxi driver. No, she must have been given something. Sir, I don't know anything about that. Look, I received the call at around 3 a.m. to pick up your daughter and her friend at the club. You can ask your daughter about it in the morning when she sobers up. Look, please, come and take your daughter out of my car and settle the fare. Tomorrow, you can speak to her and her friend, who will confirm everything I said. No, she called me around 1:30 and she didn't sound drunk at all. She told me she'd be home by 2. And 2 hours later, she's unconscious on your back seats? I received the call from the club only at around 3 a.m, sir. You can ask your daughter tomorrow when she wakes up what happened at the club between 2 and 3 a.m. But right now, you should bring her in. I'm not allowed to have any physical contact with my fare, and she can't get out of the car by herself. You're obviously lying, because you're telling me you needed a half hour to get to here from the club? What? I never said that. Yes, you did. You said you picked up my daughter and Anna at 3 a.m, and now it's past 3:30. I received a call from the club after 3 a.m, and I picked them up at about 10 past or later. And I also dropped Anna off at her address along the way. Sir, my car has a GPS tracker and you can check my locations at any given time during my shifts. You can call my dispatcher if you like and ask her for the timestamps. She'll send it to you first thing after I've made sure my fare has safely arrived at her destination. No, she hasn't safely arrived at the destination. She's unconscious on your back seat. Because she's had too much to drink, sir. Before she entered my vehicle. That's not my fault or responsibility. I would have helped her out myself if I could, but I'm not allowed to touch my fare. As I said, my daughter would never have too many drinks by herself. I want to know what was given to her. Then bring your daughter in and to bed, and in a few hours when she sobers up, ask her what happened at the club or in my car. Ask Anna and my dispatcher as well. But right now, I need your daughter out of my vehicle before she throws up or something. I'm not going to contaminate a possible crime scene. Sir, there's no crime scene in my cab, only your daughter who needs help to get out of the vehicle and into her bed. She'll be fine after some sleep. She's not the first fare to pass out in my cab during the ride home. It happens, and it's not a big deal. The important thing is that she's home safe and that you can check the last 30 minutes of my shift if you want, with no problem whatsoever. Now please, help your daughter out of my car. I'm calling the police, sir. You know? Oh, please do. And then 10 minutes later, there were 2 policemen at the door. In the meantime, the lovely daughter on the back seat of the cab made a huge mess all over the place. She emptied her bladder on the seat and threw up on the floor and back seats and all over herself. The policeman called my dad's dispatcher and in less than 1 minute established that my dad was totally innocent and that of course he did the right thing by asking the fare's father to help him with the passed out woman. They told the father to bring the daughter in and then told him to leave my dad alone. The man was furious, but had to do what they told him. However, the story didn't end there. 2 days later, my dad's boss received a call from that same entitled dad. The boss already knew what had happened that night. I demand the fare I had to pay refunded, as I'm going to press charges against your driver. On what account, sir? For molesting my daughter. I've already spoken to my lawyer. Feel free to do that, sir. I hope your lawyer informed you of the fact that we have timestamps for the vehicle in question and that the entire case can backfire on you hard, sir. My daughter doesn't even remember that they called a taxi and that she ever entered your car. Your daughter's loss of memory is irrelevant, sir. as the video surveillance at the entrance to the club confirmed that your daughter willingly entered the vehicle with her friend at 3:12 a.m. on Sunday. And I'm sure you already know that your daughter's friend herself called our dispatcher from her mobile phone. My lawyer told me that your drivers are responsible for their fares and their well-being while they're in your cars. Exactly. And the only thing my driver did wrong was ringing at your door instead of calling the police immediately. He didn't want your daughter to spend a night in prison to sober up and wanted to avoid an embarrassing situation for her. So he made a mistake and asked you to help your daughter out of the car. I'm going to sue your butts for this. Be my guest. As I already said, and for the record, we're not going to refund the fare. We will, however, send you a big invoice for the car cleaning services and for the 24-hour loss of our vehicle and fares we lost thereby. Indeed, it happened as announced by both parties. The entitled parent sued the company and lost epically. The company won, and the invoice at the end of the story was big and now included legal costs and all possible fines the judge could add to it to teach this dad an important lesson about responsibility and false accusations and disrespect. My dad then decided to become a truck driver, as truck drivers never have to deal with drunk fares or entitled parents. I mean, come on, seriously, what is the point in even making a big deal out of this? Just take your daughter inside and send her up to bed. It's pretty obvious that she's probably had a few drinks and is just drunk. And also, like, she's in the back of a licensed taxi. Not saying that means that, you know, nothing could have happened, because yeah, sure it could. And look, I get that he's just looking out for his daughter, fine, but come on. Like, all the data and all the evidence that you would possibly need is there, and this is a proper taxi company. He's gone way too far with this, surely. Surely. Am I wrong? I don't know. Let me know. And also, right, if he actually thought that his daughter was molested, why would he not then go and help her? As like, what did he say? It's a crime scene. I'm not going to go and touch her. But you're giving the impression that you thought your daughter's molested. This guy's just a joke. Like, I don't understand. I don't know what is even the play here. Trying to sue the taxi company, get some money, send this poor man off to prison. I don't get it. Very, very strange behavior from this man, who, by the way, doesn't deserve to be a parent. And look, even the comments are saying, yeah, all taxis in this country have to have CCTV in them just in case stuff like this happens. Also, like, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos from just terrible, terrible people in taxis. There are quite a lot of channels, you probably know the ones that I'm talking about, that obviously, you know, show their CCTV footage and show terrible, terrible customers in their taxis. I know this probably happens a lot, but my God, this was one of the worst examples, clearly. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of r/Entitled Parents. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, and you want to see more from this subreddit and me right away, please do check out this video on screen. I posted it a few days ago, and it's wonderful. So give it a watch. If you are new around here, subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow with a brand new episodes.